solar shock. Is Sri Lanka's tariff cut a boost for diesel energy? Surprise coral sanctuary at Sri Lanka's Hambantota port. Sri Lanka to boost adventure tourism with new regulations. Labour Ministry to announce 22,450 companies for EPF non-compliance. Welcome to Biz Digest. Stay updated with the latest business trends, market movements and economic highlights. Tonight, we highlight the government's recent decision to slash rooftop solar feed in tariffs, a move that could jeopardize Sri Lanka's renewable energy future. Is this truly about policy, or is there a deeper connection to the diesel energy sector? Let's dive in. Rupees 27 per unit of electricity supplied to the grid see drastic cuts. Rupees 19 per unit for systems under 20 kilowatts, Rupees 17 for those between 20 and 100 kilowatts, and just Rupees 15 for systems producing between 100 and 500 kilowatts. Currently, solar energy producers receive Rupees 27 per unit of electricity supplied to the grid. The government argues this aligns with market conditions, but industry experts strongly disagree. The Solar Industry Association, representing over 1,000 businesses and 40,000 employees, warns this decision will cripple the industry, leading to job losses, reduced investment and higher electricity costs for consumers. Sri Lanka's rooftop solar sector contributed over 500 megawatts in 2024. Yet, instead of supporting its growth, the government seems to be pushing the country backward. Former Finance Minister and member of the Committee of Public Finance has questioned the real motive behind this policy shift. Data reveals a stark contrast. While renewable energy contributed 48% of electricity at just Rs 63.1 billion, thermal power consumed a staggering Rs 407.5 billion, amounting to 87% of the total generation costs in 2023. With diesel power plants benefiting the most, is the government protecting public interest or corporate profits? Former minister suggests to reinstate fair solar tariffs, attract more private investment in renewable energy without discarding Adani's wind power project, and phase out costly thermal power. If Sri Lanka truly wants green energy independence, slashing solar incentives is not the answer. This reduction of tariff will be leading to the collapse of numerous small and medium-sized enterprises and the potential loss of 40,000 jobs. Over 100,000 existing rooftop solar connections, primarily owned by the middle-class families and pensioners, will be financially impacted, causing severe economic distress. The ripple effect of the collapse will extend beyond the solar industry, affecting supporting industries, financial institutions, and local economies. Critics argue that blaming rooftop solar for recent power outages is misleading. The real issue lies in grid mismanagement and lack of battery storage investment. Nations like Australia have successfully integrated solar power using smart grids. Shouldn't Sri Lanka follow suit? Globally, countries with high rooftop solar penetration, such as Australia, with 25,000 megawatts, maintain grid stability through proper storage and grid management. Sri Lanka must follow this model instead of penalizing solar producers. Ultimately, this isn't just about tariffs. It's about the future of Sri Lanka's energy sector. Will the government reconsider its decision, or will vested interests continue to dictate policy? That's the question we all need to ask. Stay with Biz Digest for more updates. Surprise coral sanctuary at Sri Lanka's Hambantota port. In an unexpected ecological twist, Sri Lanka's Hambantota port has become home to thriving coral colonies. This development is now the focus of groundbreaking conservation and research project. Once a man-made port built on reclaimed land, Hambantota's artificial structures have unintentionally become a sanctuary for marine biodiversity. The China-backed Ports Operating Company has launched a coral reef protection project in collaboration with the Ocean University of Sri Lanka. Their goal? To study and protect these flourishing coral ecosystems. According to Hambantota International Ports Group CEO Wilson Q, the port's channel and basin now host several coral species, promoting the need for scientific research and conservation. Leading the study is MFM Farouz, a senior lecturer at the Ocean University. Over the next 5 months, researchers will monitor coral health, biodiversity, and seawater quality. The project also provides valuable hands-on experience for students in marine biology and conservation. Coral reefs are crucial to marine life, serving as habitats for fish, invertebrates, and algae. Protecting these fragile ecosystems is vital, especially with increasing environmental threats. The port has allocated 1.2 million rupees for the project's first phase, set to conclude in May 2025. If successful, it could serve as a model for future coral restoration efforts in Sri Lanka and beyond. A remarkable transformation for industrial development to marine sanctuary. That's all for now. Stay with us for more updates on environmental conservation. We are honoured to welcome Mr. Atula Haputantri, Chairman and Managing Director of Tantri Trailers Private Limited, to the Leaders Chair of Biz Digest. A Class 1 marine engineer by profession, Mr. Haputantri has been instrumental in driving Tantri Trailers to the forefront of Sri Lanka's manufacturing and export sector. Under his leadership, the company has pioneered manufacturing and export value-added trailers, reaching over 40 countries worldwide. Tantri Trailers has been a key player in Sri Lanka's industrial sector. Mr. Atula, can you please share as to how your company has contributed towards the economic growth in Sri Lanka, particularly in the manufacturing and the transport sectors?
Yeah, we manufacture about 100 trailers for the local market every year. Actually, if you don't manufacture here, everything has to be imported from outside. We have other products, towers and other tanks and various industrial products. All these are for the Sri Lankan market as well as the export market. So our total turnover is more than 3 billion rupees per annum. At least 50% of that is exported. So all that brings US dollars to Sri Lanka, foreign exchange to Sri Lanka. And we also have about direct employees, about 600 direct employees working for us, and about 1,500 indirect employees are there at our sites. They are temporary indirect employees. So I think that itself explains sufficient contribution to the local Sri Lankan economy, because everything exported, all the export proceeds are brought to Sri Lanka. So that is, I think, explains the contribution to the economy.
What challenges do you see for the private sector companies like yours driving industrial development in Sri Lanka, and how can these challenges be overcome?
The biggest I see, maybe most of the people don't speak about it, but biggest issue I think is the inconsistency of policy. Policies in Sri Lanka are not consistent. So time to time they change policies. Successive government change policies. Even the same government, you can see the policies of taxation, policies of customs, taxation, custom duties, export policies keeps on changing. So no investor would like to invest in a place where the policies keep on changing. So that is the biggest issue. So we have explained this to successive governments. Even we have done the same with this government. Hope we'll get a better action or answer.
Let me ask you a follow-up question there. Now, you just mentioned that you have communicated this issue to the current government. How have they responded? Have there been any positive feedback from their side?
They are talking to us. They have appointed some advisory committees consisting of, I think, 21 sectors, industry sectors of Sri Lanka. So they have formulated a policy, actually policy of their party at the beginning for their manifesto. But now the same policies are being introduced while discussing with us. So that discussions are very important. With the stakeholder discussions are very important before implementing. So this has been the issue actually. The same thing I've been telling you about the policies. The policies have been implemented in many occasions in this country without having any stakeholder consultations. So at least now it looks like it is happening, but we'll have to wait and see. They just came into power and trying to do something.
In your point of view, how can the government and the private sectors collaborate to more effectively operate and enhance the industrial landscapes and to boost economic growth in Sri Lanka?
Yes, again, the government and the private sector, same thing. I think I have given the part of that answer in my previous question. First thing, there are projects we can do together. Public-private partnerships are very important. Sole government corporations have not been successful in the country, and also at the same time the implementation of policies, various budget decisions which is going to affect to the industries of Sri Lanka has to be again consulted with the parties involved in the industrial sectors, various stakeholders. Should be done before implementing or putting into as budget proposals. So that is very important with the government and the industrial sector.
Another interesting question: what steps have Tantri Trailers have taken towards innovation and development and technological advancements in this industry?
We actually most of the time we keep on watching what others do, because we attend various exhibitions, international seminars, international lectures. We can see what others doing. We also visit various product shows in other countries. We see how they manufacture, we see how they bring up their productivity to be competitive in the international market, be competitive by the cost competitive as well as the quality competitive. So both this has to go parallel. So no point in having a fantastic product if it is too much and if it cannot be, it is not affordable for people to consume. So that is one area. And then when you look at the innovation, mostly in practically the innovation comes with the customers' requirements. Most various customers complain and they say we have to do these things. When it comes to trailers or towers, sometimes the customer don't ask for a trailer. They say I have to move this from this point to this point. And then we see what the obstacles, what the issues, and we give them a solution. We design a solution inside our design lab, which is in the other factory in Kalaniya Kohalwila. So we discuss with the customers, we discuss with our the engineers, and then we come up with a best solution. And first we do a sample design, and then we discuss again, and finally we come to the best final solution. In our factory, in our office or design office, various categories of people are there. We treat all alike. There are people just out of technical colleges. Sometimes they come up with very bright ideas, and sometimes some people come out with, most of the children come out with from Sri Lankan universities. They also come out with very good ideas. There are experienced designers we have. They all sit together in the same place and we discuss. We have meetings, sometimes we shout at each other, sometimes we have friendly conversations. All in all, in the end, we get a good result. So that is how the innovation starts in our company, and customer also benefit, because so many, sometimes somebody can come up with a very stupid idea, but we let them speak actually. That out of 10 stupid ideas, there can be one fantastic ideas which is going to be a real winner. So that is very important, having a chat with all the people of various ranks. And we don't have a entry qualification to our design area. If somebody like to do the designing, they have some background education to handle a computer, doing some design package, any package, AutoCAD or whatever, we welcome them. And only thing is, what we need is willingness to think and work properly. So that is the most important thing in innovation, in design. And the technology is concerned, world is moving every day. So when I started here about say 25 years ago, people were welding with stick welding. In so many places you can see still in Sri Lanka, they stick welding. Then we went to MIG welding, that is mechanized welding. Now there is laser welding. So even then there was gas cutting, and now there was plasma cutting. Now it is much more advanced laser cutting techniques, which is environmentally friendly and also it is cost effective. And in the end, the quality is super, fantastic quality. So wherever new systems are there, new ways of production, which can increase the quality or productivity, we are there. So that is, without that, you cannot sell abroad. We all talk about export. We have to be up on technology. When you're up on technology, your quality is good, and also your price is good. Price competitiveness and quality, both are there. So that is where we are in innovation and technology.
So the final question to you, Mr. Atula. As a business leader, what policies or reforms do you believe are necessary to create a more business-friendly environment in the private sector, especially when it comes to the growth of the private sector in Sri Lanka?
There are many reforms Sri Lanka needs. One is we all talk about exports. We all talk about earning foreign currency for this country, and our customs clearing system in Sri Lanka is very backward. We have to have single window systems. Single window system can clear any container within 24 hours. You can see in this system is operating in India, where everybody thought it was impossible to have a single window in India. Now India is operating, USA is operating, China is operating, whole Europe is operating. More than 50% in the countries export and import in the world are doing single window. Why not Sri Lanka? So now you can see when you import a container, it takes about a week. So when we have to do on-time delivery, it is not possible. I think we have to start from this point. So single window has to be operated. I think Sri Lanka knows how to do it. People know how to do it. We just have to implement it. So that is one thing. Another thing, we all talk about export, developing industries, everything. Sri Lanka doesn't have, up to date, Sri Lanka doesn't have Parliament approved industrial policy till date. So we have to have a industrial policy. It is only a policy. Then thereafter we can go, how to go about various standard operating procedures, how this policy is going to be executed. All that we can do later. At least Sri Lanka should start with a policy, industrial policy. This is the country's policy. So whatever the successive government can amend it here and there, but then we have a policy. So we can start from there. It has been actually written and it is there in the Ministry of Industry. This government can have a look at it and change wherever change is required, because it has been done about 5 years ago. World is changing again. You can have a look at it again and implement it at once. So when you implement it, the industry will start moving. Then investors will be confident. Local investors and foreign investors, there will be foreign investors coming into the country. That is one. Other one is, I think Sri Lanka will have to have a look at the taxation for exports, especially if being Sri Lankans, we don't mind paying taxes. If we earn a reasonable profit, definitely we should pay for the country's development, for the country's infrastructures. However small, however poor, we are using the infrastructure, so we don't mind paying. But for the foreign investors, they will not like to invest in a place where they have to part with 30% of their earnings, 30% of their profit. I don't think anybody would like to part with that. So if Sri Lanka can, maybe not this year, maybe after 1 or 2 years, if they can have a look at it and reduce that to at least say 15%, I think there will be more people interested in investing in this country.
So Mr. Attila, thank you so much for giving us such an insightful information, in-depth information, I would say, regarding this industry. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Sri Lanka to boost adventure tourism with new regulations. Exciting news for adventure tourism in Sri Lanka as the Civil Aviation Authority of Sri Lanka, or CAASL, introduces new regulations to enhance safety and streamline operations. A key meeting was held under the leadership of CAASL Director General Air Vice Marshal Sagara Kotagadeniya to discuss and develop a regulatory framework. This initiative is a joint effort with the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau under the guidance of the Aviation and Tourism Ministry. As part of the framework, specific areas have been designated for adventure activities. Sigiriya will be the hub for hot air ballooning, offering breathtaking views of the ancient rock fortress. Meanwhile, the stunning coastal region of down south will cater to paragliding enthusiasts, ensuring a thrilling yet regulated experience for tourists. The new regulations will introduce crucial safety measures, including carrying capacity limitations and strict operational guidelines. Additionally, adventure tourism operators will need to meet minimum criteria for registration, ensuring a safe and more organized industry. Officials emphasize that these steps are vital for promoting adventure tourism while maintaining the highest safety standards. The initiative is expected to boost Sri Lanka's appeal as the top adventure destination. Speaking to the media, CAASL Director General Sagara Kotagadeniya highlighted the importance of structured regulations for the seamless operation of the industry. With these new measures in place, Sri Lanka is set to soar in adventure tourism sector, attracting thrill seekers from around the globe. Stay with us for more updates on this developing story. Labour Ministry to announce 22,450 companies for EPF non-compliance. A shocking revelation from the Ministry of Labour. 22,450 companies have defaulted on employees' provident fund payments, amounting to Rs 34.9 billion since 2015. The government is now demanding these companies settle their dues or face legal action. The Ministry of Finance recently informed Parliament about the massive scale of unpaid contributions affecting workers across the private sector. With only 2.2 million active EPF accounts out of an estimated 8 million, private sector employees' concerns are growing over compliance and enforcement. The Labour Ministry has confirmed it will notify the defaulting companies, urging them to make payments. However, if they fail to comply, legal action will follow. Meanwhile, trade unions are calling on the central bank to consult them before making decisions on EPF regulations, emphasizing that private sector employees must be held accountable with the legal deadline looming the big question remains: will these companies pay up? Or will legal proceedings be the only way forward? Colombo Stock Exchange. Weekly market wrap-up. The Colombo Stock Exchange ended the week on a positive note despite volatile trading. The benchmark ASPI gained 0.2%, while S&P SL20 rose to 0.4%. Turnover increased to Rs 2.14 billion from Rs 1.6 billion in the previous session, with 47.4 million shares traded. Despite an investor forum attended by over 100 foreign investors, the market saw a marginal foreign net outflow of Rs 2.4 million. Key contributors: capital goods sector led turnover 59%, followed by banking and food and beverage 25%. Major gainers: LIOC gained 1.4%, PABC gained 1.4%, HNBN gained 0.9% and NDB gained 0.7%. Top turnover drivers: Lankem Ceylon, Rs 1.1 billion, John Keel's Holdings and TJ Lanka. Foreign interest, net foreign buying: PJL Rs 10 million, net foreign selling. SAMP.N Rs 22 million. Banking stocks saw notable gains. Commercial Bank gained 75 cents and is now priced at Rs 147.75. Sampath Bank gained 75 cents and is now priced at 122. Despite initial gains, market fluctuations were evident, but the overall sentiment remained positive, with 105 gainers versus 82 decliners. This is Lakshanya Besinha, and that was your weekly business news roundup with Biz Digest.